Now, the World Health Organization has delayed its decision until tomorrow over whether to declare a global health emergency as China's coronavirus continues to spread. The official death toll from the outbreak has risen to 17. 440 people have been infected. The WHO's Director General says he expects to make a more definitive decision tomorrow.
The decision about whether or not to declare a public health emergency of international concern is one I take extremely seriously, and one I'm only prepared to make with appropriate consideration of all the evidence. Our team is on the ground in China as we speak, working with local experts and officials to investigate the outbreak and get more information.
Well, China correspondent Bill Birtles joins us now from Wuhan. Hi there, Bill. So you're there at the centre of this outbreak. What's it like? Is there a feeling of anxiety or even fear there?
Ros, I would say the feeling on the ground is actually a lot more relaxed among local people here than it is among people up in Beijing where I've been, or perhaps overseas. It's not to say everybody is relaxed about it. Most people here are wearing masks. In fact, the city government yesterday issued an order for everybody to wear masks in public. But that's one side of it. When you speak to people here and say, you know, do you know anybody who's affected? They might say, well, we spoke to one bloke who said, yeah, my friend, he's in the hospital, but he seems to be doing okay. This fella felt he didn't need to wear a mask. He said he wasn't scared. We're just speaking to a couple of people here rolling up at the airport, taking flights out of here. They're wearing masks. They're obviously planning to get out, although they probably were planning that sometime in advance because of the Lunar New Year. And I'm asking them, are you worried about it? Nope, not particularly worried. I think the government can handle it. So we're seeing online all sorts of claims and reports that there are big problems in the hospital here, long lines, misdiagnosed cases, which perhaps could also be corona deaths. But we're not tallied up that way. However, when you speak to people, there's a surprising lack of concern among some of them here.
To tell us more about the measures, Bill, that local authorities there have put in place to contain the spread of the virus.
Well, Ros, this absolute bombshell that dropped at about 2 in the morning here, that this city of 11 million people will be locked down from 10 a.m. local time this morning. Flights, trains going out of Wuhan will all be suspended for an indefinite period of time. Other forms of public transport like buses will also be suspended. For those staying here in Wuhan, the subway system will shut down. The extraordinary situation of having a city of this scale being shut down the day before Lunar New Year. Some are comparing it to trying to shut down London the night before Christmas, and yet this is what's happening. So this, far and away, Ros, is the most drastic step yet that authorities are taking here to try and stem the outbreak.
So you say the attitude is pretty relaxed there, Bill, but are many people trying to leave the city? You're there at the airport. What's happening? Yeah, well,
the people who are turning up to get these flights that are leaving before 10 a.m., many of the ones we've spoken to said they booked these flights weeks and weeks ago for Lunar New Year. It's not as though you'd be turning up to the airport if you didn't have a flight already booked. But the main train station in the centre of town, probably a slightly different story there. And we were speaking to people who said that there is a heavy police presence around the train station. So certainly some people, I think, will be trying to get out. But as I was saying, those who are local Wuhan people, many of them seem okay to spend the Lunar New Year in this city despite this growing virus crisis.
And are you planning to head out before the suspension of flights? And apart from the face mask, Bill, what precautions are you taking to protect yourself?
Yeah, aside from the face masks, we have hand sanitizer, we have sterilising wipes, all those sorts of little things to try and protect your hands so that you're not touching surfaces and then, you know, touching your mouth or whatever. There's really not much more you can do except bring this sort of basic gear and apply common sense. We are getting out. We don't want to be locked in this city for who knows how long. Could be days, it could be weeks. So we have a flight to Shanghai in a couple of hours. And as you can see, quite a few people are getting out before 10 a.m. as well.
Yeah. Bill Birtles, thanks for the update.
Cheers.
Health authorities in New South Wales are on alert as flights from the epicentre of the coronavirus outbreak are expected to touch down in Sydney this morning. Reporter Rachel Hayter joins us now from Sydney Airport. So, Rachel, what measures are being taken there to stop the spread of the virus to Australia?
Roz, Sydney Airport has ramped up biosecurity screening here at Sydney Airport. There are 3 direct flights from Wuhan to Sydney per week. They're all run by China Eastern Airlines. But as we've just heard from Bill, Wuhan has shut down the whole city. All transport will stop. So we're trying to confirm if that means that the 3 scheduled flights will stop. What we do know that it's too late for the one that's already in the air. There's one due to land here at 11 o'clock this morning, Eastern Standard Time. That's in about 2 hours from now. When those people get here, they'll be met by biosecurity officers, border security staff, and each individual will be interviewed and they'll be asked if they've got any symptoms of coronavirus, which include a fever, breathlessness, and a cough. If they do have symptoms, they'll be taken directly to Sydney's Westmead Hospital, where there'll be experts on hand, Roz.
How serious is coronavirus thought to be, Rachel?
Roz, as time rolls on, we're learning that it's more and more serious. The World Health Organization has delayed its decision on whether or not to declare this a global health emergency. That decision's been postponed until tomorrow. That's only happened 5 times in the past with illnesses like Ebola and polio. If it is declared, then there will be ramifications from that. So far, 17 people have been killed from coronavirus, and there are more than 440 confirmed cases globally. Most of them are in China, but there are also cases in Thailand, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and the United States. There are no confirmed cases in Australia, and authorities are working hard to make sure it stays that way. We have had a few scares in Brisbane and Melbourne, but both of those test results have come back negative, Roz.
Okay, Rachel Hayter there at Sydney Airport. Thank you.